Season 5 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, is on the way, and it's going to be the most explosive chapter yet. The trailer and release date are closer than you think, and what's coming next will flip everything upside down. Breeze is rising, Rock might not be done yet, and Kanan, he's about to make a choice that could destroy everything his family ever built. Let's start with that moment, because everything in Season 5 will be shaped by it. Kanan had just learned something unforgivable. His uncle Lulu told him the chilling truth about his mother, Rock, that she was cold enough to kill her own mother. And once Kanan believed that, he connected every loss in his life back to her. Fame's death, Crystal's death, it all led to Rock. So, when he walked into that room, gun in hand, we weren't sure what he would do. The tension was unbearable. Rock didn't run. She didn't beg. She looked him straight in the eyes, told him the truth, and accepted whatever was coming. And then, the gun went off. But here's the thing. We didn't see a body. We didn't see Rock fall, and Kanan didn't walk out like a man who had just murdered his own mother. That 1 second of silence after the shot, it's driving fans wild, and there are reasons to believe Rock isn't dead. Think about this. Kanan hesitated. His hand wasn't steady. He's always been emotional, no matter how tough he tries to act. He may talk about being cold, about taking over the streets, but deep down, he still wants answers, not blood. The look in his eyes when Rock told him she never wanted this life for him said it all. And then there's Jukebox. Right before the confrontation, Kanan told her his plan. And she didn't agree. She panicked. We saw her grab her phone, maybe to stop him, maybe to warn Rock. So what if Juke showed up just in time? What if the gunshot wasn't aimed at Rock, but at the wall or the floor? A final statement that he was done with her. That would explain why the actress who plays Rock was seen filming scenes for Season 5. It also lines up with how power tells its stories. People don't just disappear like that. If Rock is going to go, it's going to be big, and that moment didn't feel like the end. But whether Rock is alive or dead, one thing is certain. Kanan has crossed a line. This wasn't just a fight with his mother. This was a breaking point. Even if Rock survives, there's no going back. He's not the same kid we met in Season 1. The world has hardened him, and now he's standing on his own. Or so he thinks, because as Season 5 begins, he's not alone. Breeze is with him, and together, they're about to reshape the streets. Everything changes with Breeze. Season 4 gave us the shock of a lifetime when we met him, not just as a new player on the block, but as the nephew of Snaps and Pop. That twist turned the entire game upside down. Breeze is connected to the very people who murdered Kanan's closest friends. That means every time Kanan looks at Breeze, he sees the blood of Fame and Crystal on his family's hands. But at the same time, Breeze is the one person Kanan trusts. The two of them understand each other in a way no one else does. They're young, ambitious, ruthless, and tired of being treated like kids in a world run by older gangsters. Together, they want to build something new, something that doesn't belong to Rock, to Snaps, or to Unique. But here's the question that Season 5 will force Kanan to answer. Can he really trust Breeze? Or will this partnership collapse under the weight of blood, lies, and revenge? Because here's the truth. Breeze has already picked a side, and it's not Kanan's. He may smile, he may act loyal, but deep down, family comes first. We already saw how he hesitated when things got messy, how he didn't react the way Kanan expected when they started talking about who was responsible for the deaths of their friends. Breeze knows what his aunt and uncle did. He just doesn't care enough to stop them, yet. But Kanan, he's not going to let this slide. At some point, the truth is going to come out. And when it does, one of them will have to make a choice. Brotherhood or blood? Will Breeze kill his own family to prove his loyalty? Or will Kanan find himself betrayed by the only person left by his side? This is where the streets get dangerous. Because the moment Kanan starts thinking like a boss, like someone who needs to clean house and protect his empire, is the moment Breeze becomes a threat. Right now, they're aligned. But loyalty in the power universe is never simple. One wrong move, one whispered secret, and it's all over. And we've seen this story before. The way Kanan and Breeze are rising, it's exactly how Ghost and Tommy started. Fast money, fast respect, no rules. But we also know how that story ended. Ghost and Tommy became enemies. One pulled the trigger. So, what about Kanan and Breeze? Is history about to repeat itself? What's even more intense is how the streets are watching. Everyone knows that Kanan and Breeze are on the rise. Snaps and Pop can feel their control slipping. Unique sees the shift in power. Even Jukebox, Lulu, and Marvin, they're all standing on the edge, waiting to see who makes the first move. Because once Kanan and Breeze make their play, there's no turning back. The war for the streets will begin. And in that war, betrayal isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Unique is not the same man we met in the first season. After everything he's lost, his crew, his power, his pride, he's returned with something far more dangerous than ambition. He's returned with purpose. And in Season 4, we saw the first signs of what he's truly capable of. He didn't just attack Marvin, he sent a message. He burned the neighborhood to the ground, not for money, not for territory, but to remind everyone that he's still here. Unique doesn't just want back in, he wants to take everything. And if Kanan and Breeze think they're going to rise to the top without facing him, they're not ready for what's coming. Unique is older, smarter, and more brutal than ever. He knows the game better than anyone, and he's willing to do anything to win. The scariest part? Unique has nothing to lose. That makes him more dangerous than Rack, more unpredictable than Snaps, and more violent than Kanan has ever been. With Stefano out of the picture, there's a vacuum of power, and Unique is already moving in. But unlike Kanan and Breeze, he's not building anything. He's burning it all down. He's not here for partnerships or empires. He's here to crush. And when the streets are already on fire, you don't need to start a war. You just need to make sure you're the last one standing. That's the mindset Unique has now. He'll play dirty, twist alliances, and manipulate anyone if it means taking out the competition. And here's the terrifying part. Kanan doesn't even fully understand who he's up against yet. He's so focused on Breeze, Snaps, and the memory of what Rock did that he's not seeing the storm building behind him. Unique isn't just another rival, he's a ghost from Kanan's past, reborn with a new mission. And this time, he's coming for everything. Every crew, every block, every bit of respect. He's already proven he can outsmart and outfight the big names. Now, all he has to do is isolate Kanan, and he knows exactly how to do it. That's where things get dangerous. Because if Unique wants to break Kanan, he won't come straight at him. He'll come for the people around him. Breeze, Jukebox, Lulu, maybe even Rack again. If Unique finds out Rack is still alive, she becomes a target all over again. And you know he'd use that to tear Kanan apart from the inside. He's already testing Marvin's loyalty, encircling Lulu's weakness. Soon, he'll come for Juke, especially now that she's closer to the truth and closer to Kanan than ever before. And what happens when Kanan realizes everyone around him is a target? If Rack is still alive, and all signs say she is, then Season 5 is not just about Kanan's rise, it's about his reckoning. Think about what this means. The woman who built the Empire, manipulated every move, and tried to shape Kanan into a king, was almost erased by her own son. And yet, somehow she survived. Maybe it was Jukebox who saved her. Maybe Kanan pulled the shot at the last second. Or maybe someone else stepped in. Either way, Rack's survival means one thing. She's going to come back, and this time, she's not playing for power. She's playing for truth. After everything she's done, Rack doesn't just want to control Kanan, she wants him to finally see who she really is. The problem is, Kanan's already made up his mind. He thinks his mother is a monster, a liar, and maybe even a murderer. So what happens when she walks back into his life? It won't be a happy reunion. Rack knows too much, and so does Kanan. And now that the lines between family and betrayal have been completely destroyed, the tension between them is only going to explode. Kanan is trying to break free. Breeze is pushing him toward a new future. But if Rack returns, everything gets complicated. She knows Breeze's bloodline. She knows what really happened with Snaps and Pop, and she knows Kanan better than anyone. That makes her the one person who can stop this new empire before it even begins. But here's the twist. Will she even want to? Or will she just burn it all down out of spite, out of guilt, or maybe even love? Because deep down, Rack still sees Kanan as her son. No matter how far gone he is, no matter how close he comes to becoming a monster himself, she will never fully give up on him. That's what makes her so dangerous. She's not like Unique or Breeze or even Lulu. Rack doesn't need power. She already had it. What she wants now is redemption. And that makes her unpredictable. Maybe she'll try to help Kanan from the shadows. Maybe she'll step in at the last minute and save him from Unique's wrath. Or maybe she'll decide the only way to save her son is to destroy the world he's trying to build. And let's not forget, Rak is a survivor. She's lived through war, betrayal, murder, and heartbreak. She's outlasted every rival, outsmarted every threat. If she's coming back, it won't be quietly. It'll be a storm, a hurricane in the middle of an already burning city. And when she shows up, everyone, Breeze, Kanan, Unique, and even Juke, will have to choose sides. There's no middle ground left. This time it's all or nothing. And if Rak has to watch her empire fall just to make her son understand the truth, she'll do it. But one thing's for sure, her return is going to destroy the balance of power, and nothing will ever be the same again. This isn't just the final chapter of Raising Kanan, it's the moment the entire power universe has been building toward. We're not just watching Kanan become the man we knew in power, we're witnessing the birth of a legacy, the rise of Ghost, the madness of Tommy, and the spark that ignites it all, Breeze. So how does it end? With fire, with betrayal, and with a choice. Kanan's path has split in two. One leads back to his family, the people he's tried so hard to escape. The other leads forward, toward a darker world, one where love means weakness and power means survival. Breeze has become his new brother, his business partner, and maybe even the only person left he trusts. But trust doesn't last long in this world, and the seeds of betrayal are already there. Breeze's loyalty will be tested, especially when Kanan finds out just how deep Breeze's ties to Snaps and Pop really go. If Breeze hesitates for even a second, it might cost him everything. And then there's Unique. He's not backing down. He's already proven he's willing to destroy anyone in his way. The new Unique is colder, smarter, and more brutal than ever. With Stefano gone, there's a massive power vacuum in the streets, and Unique wants to fill it, completely. That puts him in direct conflict with Breeze and Kanan, and this time, there's no middleman, no peace treaty, no turning back. We're headed straight into a war for the soul of the city. But what makes it even more intense is the feeling that all of this is a setup for something bigger, something we already know is coming. Because we know where Kanan's story leads. We know he becomes a mentor to Ghost and Tommy. We know Breeze is the one who brings them into the game. And we also know how that story ends, when Kanan pulls the trigger on Breeze himself. So, how does that happen? It's simple. The same way all empires fall, not from outside attacks, but from within. The final season of Raising Kanan might show the exact moment when Kanan learns the hardest lesson of all, that loyalty is a weakness, and family doesn't always mean forever. It could all come crashing down in the last few minutes. A betrayal, a gunshot, maybe even a flash forward that shows young Ghost and Tommy stepping into Kanan's world for the very first time. That's how you build a bridge from one generation to the next. And that's how Power Origins begins. The trailer for Season 5 is expected to tease all of this. Kanan and Breeze taking over the streets, Unique going on the attack, Rak's shocking return, and maybe even the first glimpse of the next legends to rise. The release window looks like early to mid-2026, but with the final season already confirmed and production underway, we could be getting the trailer much sooner, possibly spring 2026. One of the episodes will even be directed by Joseph Sikora, the man behind Tommy himself, which tells you just how connected this season will be to everything that comes after. So, are you ready to watch everything fall apart, just so it can all begin again? The final chapter of Raising Kanan isn't just about power, it's about legacy. And by the time it ends, we'll finally understand how the story of Kanan Stark became the foundation of the entire Power universe.